So you've fallen down the same rabbit hole as me, eh? Too many games and not enough time to play them. The gaming backlog piling on your back like the boxes from Death Stranding. We all at one point or another have looked at a game that we wanted to pick up, and still haven't played it. Well, how do we get over our backlog? That is what I'll be going over in this video, so sit back, relax, and enjoy. First step is organizing your backlog. What you're seeing here is my backlog that I have compiled. An organized backlog is a happy backlog. I have them set up to where I have them all listed alphabetically, listed by what console that I'll be playing it on, and the average time that it would take to beat as shown on howlongtobeat.com. And I'll have a link to that in the description below. Organizing our backlog will make it much easier to figure out what we're looking to play and how to maximize efficiency. I recently picked up Simpsons Road Rage, so I'll show you my process. First, I go to howlongtobeat.com and check out the game. Then I look at the average amount of time to beat it, then move back over to the Google Sheet and put in the information as I put here. Doing this will help me in the long run when deciding what short or long game to play next. Second is finding the time to play said games. I play a lot of RPGs and it can seem daunting to get to playing them. Jobs, family, and friend obligations can seem like it gets in the way of the backlog, but you only need to consolidate the time where you can. It may seem like it's impossible to find the time to sit down and play a long 60-hour JRPG, but that doesn't mean that you always have to. Having multiple games going on at one point can help, especially whenever it comes to burnout. Me personally, as of the writing of this script, I've been playing Metaphor ReFantasio, but when I'm not playing that, since I'm making the game I play exclusively while I'm streaming, I find something else to play for me. Right now, that is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone on the GameCube. The Harry Potter game will take much less time to beat, so if I don't feel like playing Metaphor, I know I have a fallback that I can take some time with. That's why I had the average time to beat if I don't feel like playing through a large game, or maybe I have a weekend where I'll be doing a lot of nothing, or I'm going on vacation, and I can consolidate a little time to game that I can play on the way or whenever I'm chilling at home. We also know how it is when we see a game we want out in public. I myself have set up a list that will go over everything that I'm currently looking for on every console I would search for. I organize it by making a separate table for each console and writing them all down, as well as if there are any good substitutions I want to add, such as Bakugan Defenders of the Core. With this title, I'm okay for settling on the PS3 version of the game if I find it cheaper than the Wii version. I then go and find a game and change its color to yellow to show that I have bought the game. This doesn't account for new release games that haven't come out yet. This is more so a list of games from the past that I want to pursue buying. Thirdly, you don't need to beat every game you set out to play. The main reason we play these games in the first place is to have fun, so you don't need to feel obligated to something if it isn't bringing you joy. You can always take a step back from it for a day or two and come back to see if you just needed a break to deal with burnout, or if you're just not feeling the game. If you aren't feeling the game, you can always drop it. I dropped Astral Chain after putting it on the back burner for a couple of years now. More and more games came out and I kept pushing it further till I decided I wasn't going to finish it. Now I know a lot of you would like to go for completion, but that's not me at the moment. Sometimes I'll go for the occasional platinum trophy before hopping to another game, but all I'm looking for is beating the game and seeing the credits and carrying on from there to the next title. At some point, I'll eventually go back to some of the games I played to finish up trophies that I need for the platinum, or finishing up like a Pokédex. Outside of those, I'm not too into completing titles, though it'll be somewhere on the list to do someday, in which case I may make a series where I clean up certain games for trophies. Set yourself a schedule of what you can play and when you can play, and even make a fun little game out of it. I told myself last year that I would play and beat 3 Final Fantasy games, 1 Pokemon game, 1 Xenoblade game, 1 Trails game, and lastly 1 Sonic the Hedgehog game. That way I can experience certain series and make progress trekking through long-running series. And this can be a fun way to find new series that you may end up loving. This year, I'm setting out to beat at least 2 Final Fantasy games, 1 Pokemon game, 1 Trails game, 1 Fallout, 1 Disgaea, 1 Banjo-Kazooie, and 1 Bravely game. This way I can make progress in series that I have already started and start new series to see if I would enjoy them. Another thing I try to do is beat a certain amount of games each year. In 2023, I beat 17 games, and in 2024, I beat 22 games. This year, I'll try to aim for around 25 games and see if I can go even past that. A few tips outside of what I put here would include finding non-spoiler guides if you're wanting to optimize a run. There's no shame in looking up a guide if it can help you in the long run. Whether it's looking up a spot where you can catch a great Pokemon for the Elite Four, or the best answers to give when doing a social link in Persona, these are all just minor things to help you along your way. Looking up strategies for a certain boss instead of bashing your brains could save you a lot of time that could be spent furthering your progress in the game. I usually give the boss a few tries before I look up what I may be missing. Certain puzzles may give us trouble. While I didn't have issues with the Water Temple in The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, the Shadow Temple kicked me well after I was down. Set your own boundaries with gaming guides so that way you aren't just playing the game through the eyes of a walkthrough forum. At the end of the day, you need to come up with what works for you and your time constraints of what you have available, and you should find a way to organize it. Let me know what you all do for your backlogs and how you deal with them in the comment section below. I'll be updating you all throughout the year on my backlog progress. I'll be sure to leave all the links in the description showing what I have beat and how I organize my backlog. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and good luck with your backlog. I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.